Back to the Culture Call on Praise 93.3 with L. Spencer Smith. Our desire is to reach and empower the community by discussing a cross-section of relevant topics from various perspectives that are essential to its growth and interpersonal connections. Be sure to save our call-in number, 205-752-4800. Be sure to install the free Praise 93.3 app so you can send L. Spencer Smith a message or topic idea. Search for WTSK in your app store.
This is a world premiere.
Great morning, great morning, great morning, precious people. You know what time it is. That's right. It's time for the Culture Call with yours truly, L. Spencer Smith, right here on Praise 93.3. It is the place where Tuscaloosa meets the world. Absolutely. And guess what? For the next 2 hours, you know what we do from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're going to be talking a little bit about everything from society to sports, education to economics, from religion to relationships. And as always, we are here to create a safe space to have empowering conversations. And guess what? Guess what? You can call in and or chat it up with me right here as we learn together on the Culture Call. Shout out to Brother Jay leading us in this morning. He has this place on fire for the best in gospel music. You need to keep it right here listening to Praise 93.3, and especially get up in the morning and start your day off with Brother Jay. Listen, maybe this is your first time tuning in to the Culture Call, or you've been a regular. Doesn't matter. I'm still going to do my checkup. What is that? Good. Glad that you asked. I need you to take out your cell phone because I know you have it somewhere in your person, in your hand even maybe. And I need you to go to the App Store, whether it's an Apple or an Android device, whether it's an Apple or an Android device, search out in the App Store, Praise 93.3 FM, and there you will find that we have a free 99 app. That's right. We have a free 99 app right there. I need you to download it. That's what I need you to do. That's right. Don't just look at it. Download it. And what does that help you do? What does it help you do? Glad that you asked me. You can hear me from all around the world. Doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. If you can download it and you get that good reception, that good reception, right? That LTE, that 5G, or whether you're on wireless, you can hear me from wherever you are. Absolutely. We want to make sure that I know some of you are at work listening to me, tuning in, and you don't have an opportunity to call in and have a conversation. This app is going to be important to you, and I'm going to tell you how in just a moment. Listen, if you have anything going on in your neck of the woods, whatever your concert, whatever your event is, that's right. I need you to email your public service announcements to me at culturecall.praise@gmail.com. That's culturecall.praise@gmail.com, and give me an opportunity to let everybody know what's going on in your neck of the woods, whether it's your church, your organization, your sorority, your fraternity, your music group, doesn't matter. When you send it to me at culturecall.praise at gmail.com, I'm going to say it on the air. And guess what? We're going to try to create a crowd at your event. Absolutely. Your concert is going to be packed out. Your revival is going to be packed out. Hello, your seminar, whatever it is, your event, does not matter. We want faces in the place so that you can be encouraged that what you're doing is making a difference. You know why? Because definitely we do it better when we do it together. And of course, guess what? You can call me. Let me know how you're feeling about what we're talking about. 205-752-4800. That's 205-752-4800. Call in. That's right. Call into the show and be a part of the conversation. And, or here it is, that information, you can get that app and chat it up with me right on the app. That's right. I checked the app, and so I want to know what your perspective is, whether I'm doing a good job, whether you have interest in what we're talking about, whether I'm stinking up the joint. It really doesn't matter. I want to hear from you. Good. Can you do that for me? Thanks. Good. Listen, so sit back and relax. Grab you some coffee. You know how we do it in these Culture Call streets, whether it's Maxwell House or Starbucks. Y'all know what I like. Get you some herbal tea. Yeah, if you don't like coffee, maybe get you some herbal tea, some chamomile if you're trying to chill out and calm down after a long shift. You know, you got the kids at the house and you got the house by yourself because they're back in school, or maybe you want to get some green tea, get a little caffeine kick. That green tea has a little natural caffeine in it. It gives you a little kick in the morning. Or definitely you can get some alkaline water. Y'all know how we do it. 9.5 and above. That's right. Detox that body. Get that blood flowing and get it good. Get down to that cellular level. Yeah. Get hydrated, and let's go ahead and get into the culture. Listen, it has been a great week all week, and we got another day to go. But I'm telling you, Culture Call, we've been on fire. Thank you for all of you all who are listening, and all of you all who respond and say, hey, El, I really appreciate the Bishop. I love hearing you on the radio because you teach us so much. Well, that's my assignment. That's my joy. That's my passion. And I definitely believe that's my purpose. And yeah, I'm telling you, this week has been an amazing week as we've been talking about getting your business straight. That's what we've been talking about, getting your business straight. And I think it's very important as we look at the backdrop of what's going on in our society and what's going on around our city and all of that we begin to think about as a community, how we can better position ourselves to be more effective. That's right. That we won't be on the outliers complaining and being labeled as people who don't want to work, who don't want to do this, who don't want to, who's always talking about their history and the struggle and all that. Yeah. There are some people that want us to shut up about that, but nonetheless, they don't control our narrative. We do. That's right. And I'm saying to you that, maybe we need to go ahead and start getting ourselves together to be a vibrant and active part of what is developing in our communities and in our cities. That's right. Whether that's via education, whether that's via, community connections, creating groups and neighborhood collectives that can cause us to understand and position us better for opportunities and have a different visibility. See, because visibility determines vocality. What does that mean? That when people can see me, they'll listen to my voice. And so, maybe we need to network and do all of that. And of course, at the top of the week, we started talking about that amazing seminar, Growth Excellence Success seminar and gathering that was had at the Tuscaloosa River Landing. And I thank you. I think all of you who came out, D Banks did an amazing job putting that together, gathering all of the entrepreneurs and movers and shakers in our city and in our community, and just kind of giving that a platform, a letter of encouragement, a time where we can come out and just feed off of each other and definitely network and build relationships. And so that gave me the thought about getting our business together. What would our future look like if we all came together, if we all, moved in the same direction, right? And I think that's very important. Listen, I'm going to be talking about that again today, but I'm going to be talking about working toward the future. I want to talk about work today. I want to talk about work as opposed to labor. And I think that's very important because when you look at the numbers statistically, that even though employment is up holistically around the country, that there seems still to be a deficit in our community. And it's, of course, there are several reasons, but all of them are not racist or institutionalized racism. A lot of it is that we're not prepared. We're not technologically prepared. We're not educationally prepared. We're not focusing on the right areas in terms of our schooling, and that's post-secondary and even in high school. With the removal of certain trade classes that are removed from school. Yeah, even though it's a STEM season, a STEM situation, or the academic sector is going towards STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, there still seems to be a dearth of us being prepared amply and in our community to be able to qualify for those jobs. And then when you look at location, especially if you're in Tuscaloosa, those jobs are minimal, right? When you're dealing with science, technology, and math. I mean, I get the understanding of the plants that are around our city and the work that is there. Great. But we're talking about high-paying jobs. This is not Silicon Valley. There is no Google here. There is no, Apple here or no Mac here. Apple and no, Microsoft. Yeah, we're not there. There's no Dell here. Our particular part of the country does not facilitate that. However, we can begin to prepare ourselves as a community to build and to create modules of scientific and explorative advantages for our young people in terms of what will they do in the future. Right? What will they do in the future? Early on, we talked about, asking that question to a child, what do you want to be in the future? And most of them say something that is high paying, a doctor, a lawyer, which I take a little umbrage or take a little bit of back with. And I want to invite you in that space really quickly because there's always a number placed on life, placed on time. And we never tell them we never help them understand who are you called to serve or what you believe your purpose is, because I think those are deeper questions. It's not just about you having a job and establishing a career, but it's also about you being fulfilled as a human being. It is also about being able to give back and to serve and to move your people and your family, your community forward in the work that you do, right? So it's not just, I'm clocking in and I'm going to stay there for 30 years and, whatever, I'm going to get a pension and retirement, et cetera. No, it's got to be more than just the money. Right. And if we are not careful, we could literally be instilling the seeds of what the text says, the love of money, because we understand that the love of money is the root of all evil. That's what the text says. Right. And so it's important for us then to begin at the young age. What do you want to be? Because that's a simple question, because that's kind of the level that they understand. But then as they begin to matriculate and as they get older, we need to ask them, who do you believe that you're here to serve? What do you believe your purpose is in the world? And begin to connect them with that, right? Because the whole idea is not to spend all of our time just making money. Making money is essential. Making money is a great thing. The text says money answers all things. That's what it says. Money answers all things. It positions us in this capitalistic society to be able to do and to be able to afford certain accommodations that we did not have in the past. So money is definitely useful. But the prime element of life is not just to work for money. It is to work for fulfillment. Let me say that again. That the prime objective of life, I think that's the best way to say that. The prime objective of life is not simply to work for money. It is to work for fulfillment, the fulfillment of your purpose, the fulfillment of your destiny, the fulfillment of that when you lay your head down at night, you can literally say, I made an impact in the world. Today, I was effective. That's what work should be. That's what work was ordained from the beginning. Was ordained from making sure that I have enough to to take care of what has been given charge to me, right? What I have, I exercise stewardship and management through the work that I do. It is the unfolding of who we are. So it plays a crucial, this whole idea of work as opposed to labor. And I'm going to talk about that because most of us understand work from the labor context. Let me say that again, that most of us in our community understand work from the labor context. Now, wait a minute. I thought work is labor. Of course, it's the labor force. Okay, yeah, whatever. No, work is when what you do in the world is connected to your why. It's connected to your purpose, right? So every day I get up, I am only working. Listen, not because I get a check, not because I clock in, right? Right? No, I only work when what I do is a connection of why I am here, that this is the reason why my life is sustained. This is the reason why I'm at this place, at this school, at this particular job, factory, whatever you're doing. It has to be, in order for it to qualify as work, right? It has to be connected to your purpose, to the life source of why you are here. Now, labor, on the other hand, is when your energy is being expended with a something that is not connected to your purpose. That you're just going to a job. just to make money. You're going to a job and you don't like going there, but you know you got to go there. There's no centrality of purpose. There's no, we don't see your agency come out. We don't see your brilliance, your intellect comes out, even though you're very skilled perhaps at what you label with. You don't really, it's not really work because it does nothing for your purpose. It does nothing to extend who you are. It's labor. It's labor. And that labor is quantified by time and hours and minutes. And you get double overtime. Yeah, if you do more labor over time outside of your regular pattern of work, right? You get more money. And at the end of the day, that your life has to be more than just gaining money. Please, now let me say this. So when you call in, you won't be going off with me, talk about, wait a minute, I got to work so I can get some money. I ain't say that. That's not what yes, money is important. Let me say it again, Culture Call, before folks start fussing at me. No, money is important. That's right. It answers all things. That's what the text says. That means that if you're going to pay bills, if you're going to get a house, if you're going to get a car, if you're going to have food, if you're going to clothe your children, you have to have the means of exchange. And the means of exchange in this realm is money, Okay, so good deal. All right. But what I am saying is that, what your work is, what gives me fulfillment apart from the check that I just got. That if you didn't get paid. See, this is where, now watch this, y'all. Ready? This is where entrepreneurs are different than people who are in the quote unquote workforce, right? Because what entrepreneurs do, and if they're doing it correctly, is finding something and going down the journey and the path of that which is connected to their purpose. And in that, always it doesn't immediately bring a lot of money. As a matter of fact, in order for you to be an entrepreneur at the front end, you might have to invest more than you receive back. Right? It really takes an entrepreneur somewhere between 5 to 10 years to get back their investment of even starting the business. Right? And so that's a misnomer. People think, well, entrepreneur, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. I don't have to clock in. No, you may have to stay a little longer and clock in a little earlier. Even if you do you may not even get any sleep. That, right now, if you're on a job, you have a time to get on and get off. That might be, I got to work nights, and be off on days, which of course mess up your circadian cycle. But we're not going to talk about that because that's not a part of the subject matter. But it messes up your body when you work at night and sleep during the day. Because here's the text. I must work while it is day. Work is for night, for daytime. For when it is night comes, no man can work. Night is for sleeping. Night is for dreaming, right? It's like night is for replenishing. Absolutely, right? And so, one of the things that we don't understand as it relates to work versus labor is the deleterious effect, the destructive effect, the unhealthy effect that labor has on your body. Let's say you're working at a job for 40 to 50 years. You started really young, started in your teenage years or your early 20s. And here now you've worked this job, right? And what has it done to your body? What has it done? That labor, what has it done? Moving heavy things, lifting heavy things. What has it done? But when you really get into the essence of work does this, that even though it may cost me on this end, and maybe I might be a little tired, it has amazing rewards on the back end. It's so very important. See, work plays a crucial role in our lives and society because it provides numerous benefits and contributes to personal growth. Personal growth. That's right. That's when you're working, you should be growing. Let's try it again. That when you're actually working, not laboring, because picking cotton is labor. That's not work. Yeah. That's what I mean by that. Picking tobacco, that's labor, right? Because labor never seeks to pay you on the level of your energy and your worth. Let me say it again. Labor never seeks to pay you or reward you on the level of your labor and your worth. Work does. Work is going to say, here is what I believe a comparable level of time and energy and what this check is going to be. And you look at him like, oh, okay, I can do this. This seems fair enough for me, because nobody can pay you for your energy. Nobody can pay you. They'll put a price on it per hour. They'll give it benefits and all that kind of stuff so that you can stay healthy, health benefits, doctor's benefits, all of that. Yeah, they'll do that, right? And then you have a sense of fulfillment when it's work. But when it's not work, it's just like, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm just going through the motions. And we have to begin to understand this whole idea of creating different levels and understanding of what the future of work will look like, what the future of work will look like. Let me say this, that according to the sociologists and according to those who study the work and labor force, that quickly humans are being phased out of work, of the workforce. When we look at AI, artificial intelligence, when we look at robotics, right? When we look at all of those things where now, and even in fast food restaurants, they don't even have people that are behind the counter that can even give you an attitude. They allow computers to take your order, and all those people do in the back is just simply cook your order, gather it, and give it to you, because you've already paid on the screen. You've already told them what you want on the screen, all of that. So it's taking the human element out, right? Not only that, because they're understanding that if I'm really going to get people to work and I have to pay them a wage. And so I don't have to worry about strikes. I don't have to worry about unions and all those different kinds of things when I replace the human element in what we call work. It's happening all around the country. I was in the airport and in South Carolina, and I was getting ready to come back to Alabama, and I was hungry because I hadn't eaten all day, and I went to Burger King, right? And how I'm used to, hey, welcome to Burger King. May I take your order, please? Okay. No, it wasn't none of that. None of it. They had a big screen, a big computer screen, loaded up all of their the menu in it. And I had to kind of choose myself what I wanted, right? They made me, for a moment, the cashier, and I paid it. And the next thing I knew is that somebody was calling my name saying, here is your order. Here's your drink. Here's your cup. Go get your drink, right? So they're moving the human element out of work, right? Because work requires rights, right? Yeah, work requires that they treat you with a level of dignity and humanity as you work, right? And so they don't want you to work. They want you to labor. They want to be able to pay you whatever they want to pay you, and you be happy about getting paid, right? And then, of course, Uncle Sam is going to take his chunk. And then you got to worry about whether you have enough to live off of. That, listen, I'm telling you, that is not that cannot be sustainable in the future. It cannot be sustainable in the future, right? That you got to always worry about how to pay Peter, robbing people to pay Paul, and Sally mad because you borrowed from her, and then Susie looking at Sally crazy because Susie took the money that she owed Sally and gave it to you, right? Because Peter didn't have anything, all these different kinds of things. That is not a sustainable life to build family, right? First of all, to take care of yourself. But to build a family, definitely not to have a wife and children, definitely not to get a decent housing, definitely not to consistently take on, electricity and mortgage and water and gas and all of the necessities that it takes to have a home and a place of residence. Doesn't take care of rent, right? Let's not even talk about car payment, depending on what kind of car you get. Right? You have to begin to ration off. And then we haven't even started talking about clothes. We haven't even started talking about all of those niceties that you need when you're having a family. So guess what? You're working hard or you're laboring hard, but you're not getting a vacation because you have no time because you don't have those kind of benefits. They're not seeing that, right? And then because you don't have no vacation, it's wearing on your blood pressure, it's wearing on your body, it's wearing on your mind. Right? And see, that's what labor does. That's what labor does. It provides you the least benefit and tries to extract out of you the most work. Let me say it again. it takes out of it tries to take out of you the most benefit, most energy, the most labor, and gives you the least amount of pay, the least amount of compensation, right? And so you've got to stop back and start thinking about now, what will the future of working look like? What should I be thinking about in terms of retirement? Where is, if you're simply laboring, where's the money for investment? Where's the money for saving, right? Because guess what? You don't have that money because they're not even paying you on the level of that, of how much you labor. But here's the next piece. Let's go a little deeper. Well, why are those your only job choices? Were they your only job choices, right? Because if they were on your only job choices, then we got an issue. Because if those are the only jobs that you could get, yeah. If those are the only jobs you could get, then we need to look around and be like, okay, all right, I see what's happening right now. So now I don't have the education. I don't have the education. I don't have the academic skills. I don't have the technological skills or the business skills to get another job. So I'm just taking what I can get. And when that happens, it creates cycles of lack, cycle of poverty, cycles of struggle, right? It creates lack of options and opportunities, lack of resources, right? And so I think we need to begin to reboot, control, alternate, delete. I think we need a start over, and we got to do it quick. We got to do it quick because the world is still moving. It's still advancing, right? I was laughing at one of my friends, and he was telling me from Detroit, he was telling me, I'm going to keep my phone. I said, what kind of phone do you have? He said, I got an iPhone 11. He said, and they sending all kind of stuff trying to get me to get a new phone. I said, bro, they're almost at stage 15 with the phone. What are you missing because you just refuse to come up with the technology? And that's important. That's an important conversation. Because the world is still moving, it's still advancing. You can't just get stuck at one moment. And so I need things that prices are going up. That's right. Groceries are going up. Home prices are going up, especially in our area, right? You know, they're taxing us, for schooling now, all these different kinds of things, property taxes, all of that. And I'm not opposed to that because guess what? 1971 is not the same as 2023. When I was born, things were, folks were fussing. I can remember when gas was $1. Okay, you're not living in that world anymore. No, you got to come up now. You got to start thinking about, what can I do that will bring more to me? What can I do to break cycles of lack and poverty? What can I do to better myself, to position myself and my family in a place that is advantageous for us, right? I've got to start thinking about what the future of work is going to look like. I've got to start thinking about planning and preparing for the next stages of my life. What will retirement look like? It is predicted that this is the last generation that will see Social Security. That's what the prediction is, that the baby boomers will be the last to receive a Social Security check. What does that look like? How does that look like for the retirement? What does that look like for future finances? Right? Well, they're trying to extend the work age where 65 will no longer be the retirement. And in some states, it's not. They're trying to move it up to 72. 72. Right? And so, that before you can even qualify to retire, because what they're trying to balance, get the most work, and this is why they're trying to increase your life expectancy, because they want you to labor. But I'm going to encourage you today on this show, tap into your work. Find that thing that is connected to your purpose, the reason why you are here, and then have those more than one stream. Yes, you can go and do labor at another place. Yes, you can go and for the lack of a better term, work at a job to get a check. But then there's got to be another stream where there is something on the inside of you, that wakes up and says, hey, I got to start living and being about my purpose. I wonder what kind of wealth and fortune is in my purpose if I will work in that area. Listen, we're going to have a great show today. I promise you. I need you to keep it locked right here on the Culture Call with L. Spencer Smith right here on Praise 93.3. Don't miss it.
This is a world premiere.
And we are back right here on the Culture Call with L. Spencer Smith on Praise 93.3. And it's already turning out to be what Brother Jay said, a thrilling Thursday. I love that, thrilling Thursday, right? Listen, as we're talking about getting your business straight, we're talking about the future of work, working toward the future, work in the future. That's what we're talking about, and making sure that we understand that and pass those, get those traits ready in our community, passing it down to the next generation, that they'll have more options for their future. I think it's very important. One of the things as we talk about work and labor is the importance of understanding how it is connected to your purpose, how it is connected to what you're supposed to be doing in life. And as I begin to research, especially for the show, I begin to think about, early on in life, we have what we call chores. And depending on what age your children, you start working with your kids in that area, picking up their own toys, making up the bed, doing the dishes. We begin to start with training them for work ethic, to be responsible, to have, to do certain things in order to show and reveal responsibility. Right? Because responsibility, or revealing responsibility, is the thing that causes us to unleash rewards. If there is no area in which you are responsible, then you should receive no reward. And so early on, we try to create some level of work ethic, right? Work ethic within our children, with our young people. And of course, sometimes they get like, well, why do I have to do that? Why do I have to do that? And the answer is because I say so. And I get that from a parental perspective. But as we work on work ethic, maybe the answer needs to be, I'm developing a skill in you that you're going to need when you leave my house, right? Giving them the understanding of the value and the worth of work. Right? I think that's very important. I get it. As chocolate parents, we don't like to necessarily be questioned when we say stuff. I get it. And listen, I'm not faulting you. I'm not telling you to do no gentle parenting, no California parenting. That is not what I'm telling you to do. But what I am saying is maybe we need to expand that now. Maybe we need to expand that conversation. That why do I have to do this? Because I'm developing something in you that you're going to need when you get out to take care of yourself. I'm giving you an appreciation for work. Connecting it to, how do you think we have all these things? How do you think the clothes are on your back and the food is on your table? And some people say, well, children are too young to know that. No, they're not. They're not too young to know the difference between a PlayStation and an Xbox. They're not listen, they can handle, and I'm talking about young baby kids can handle iPads. They come to church with them, right? iPads, iPhones, all these. They're looking at videos in church. Parents giving them videos to look at, all of those different kinds of things. So don't tell me they're too young to have that work ethic conversation, because guess what? They can do anything else they want to do. They come to this earth as geniuses. We dumb them down because we're thinking that they're too young to learn, when in fact, they might be at the most prime to learn while they're children, because they pick things up, they mimic things so very quickly. And so we need to begin to develop a particular language and vocabulary for work ethic, to get it on the inside of them, that you will not be lazy. You will not be a bum. You will not be sitting on the side of the road shaking a cup for a handout, because you are here, yes, for purpose. And that purpose, connected to that purpose, is a work, an assignment, right? But that thing a lot of times has to be awakened in the house of our parents. It has to be awakened in our community. When we got up in a few years, maybe in our early teens, my brothers and I, and we wanted money, wanted to get pop, wanted to get some chips, I had a little fetish back in the day when I was, maybe 11 and 10, like for pickled pig feet. Now, I know some of y'all be like, ugh, whatever, ain't nobody asking you all that. Nobody is asking you all of that. No, that's what I used to love, right? And so I think what is important, was my parents telling us, okay, well, go ask Miss Jackson to cut her yard. See how much she would give you for cutting her yard. Go ask Mr. Jimmy to cut his yard. Go ask, Mama Ada, how much would it cost to cut her yard? Yeah, go. How much would it cost to go to the grocery store and run errands for them? They started in us early, putting in a particular work ethic that if we wanted something, that we were not afraid to find an opportunity to work. Because guess what? One of the things that I learned early on is that people are not just going to give you things. You got to develop a work ethic. Now, there are people, unfortunately, in this country that have no work. And of course, we'll talk about that. There are the homeless people. There are degreed people, PhD people that literally have no work. And for whatever reason that is. And then there is a level of responsibility, a societal responsibility to care for the indigent, to care for those who are homeless, to care for those who cannot and found themselves in a place where they cannot do for themselves at a particular time, right? At a particular time. Let me say it again, at a particular time. Now, we're not going to be taking care of, offering benevolence to perpetual panhandlers that every time I see you, you ain't got no job, but you got all this stuff going on. What you doing, right? So that's a different kind of conversation. But what I am saying is that we've got to begin to develop a particular work ethic in our children. That in those computers, there is some work there. Let's assign them to do something. With all of that technological savvy that they have now, they can come in and put together, your electronic TV, your flat panel, right? They can't hang it on the wall, but they know they know the technology to hook up your cable, to hook up your wireless. They know it all. They know how to reset passwords, everything, right? But we need as adults, as grown folks to parlay that into developing a work ethic. Now, back up, we have to have a healthy work ethic as well. We got to do that as well. That we cannot just be sitting there, and if they keep hearing us say, "Oh, I'm just tired of this job," and then they see you going with it every morning, "Oh, and coming on, oh, I'm tired of this job. I'm tired of the people on the job. I wish I could just quit." If that is what you're saying around them, you're creating a particular mentality concerning work ethic. Let me say that again. If you're going to work and all that work is at the end of the day, they see you, "Oh, man, daddy didn't have it. I'm sick and tired of this job." Or "Mama's just too tired." And all they see is you tired from the labor that you do, the complaining. And it's no, listen, I get it. We get tired. I understand. But also what I want you to think about is what you are developing, especially when they hear it or they see it. Absolutely. That's important. Because again, our job is to make sure that they have a strong what? Work ethic. Right? Number one, here's why they need a strong work ethic. Here's number one, purpose and personal fulfillment and purpose. Personal fulfillment and purpose. This is why we need an understanding of how to develop an engaged and strengthened work ethic, because it's about meaningful work. That's what I told you. Work is connected to your purpose and can bring that sense of purpose, fulfillment, and satisfaction. Right? It's not just the check. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I do. Right? It allows people to utilize their skills, their talents, their passions. That's what it does. That's what real work does. The stuff that you have on the inside of you, it enables you to do it. My dad was like, he said, you could be a lawyer or you could be a musician. You could go to school for music. He says, but here's the thing. You got to think about what you would not get up. What would you not mind getting up doing every day if they didn't pay you? If you didn't make the big bucks, what would you not mind doing every day of your life? And that is where you need to work. That's where you need to focus on. That's where your fulfillment comes in. And see, I think as we talk about redefining and elevating work ethic, as we begin to talk about that in our communities and begin to ask the right questions when they're in school, right? Not just, yes, develop a work ethic. Yes, make them wash the dishes. Yes, make them, mow the lawn, trim the hedges. Make them take out the trash. I agree with all. Clean up their room. Absolutely. But then there has to be a conversation that parlays them into, what do you feel like you could do? Here's the question. If they didn't pay you any money, what could you do the rest of your life? What work would you do? What career would you choose? What job would you choose if they didn't pay you one single solitary dime? Yeah. What would you do? I think that is very important. Yeah. Because if you don't ask those questions, that high level kick in will never get there. They'll get in school and they'll just go on through the motions. And no, you got to stop them in your house while they're in your parents. And listen, as a teenager, that's a hard question because teenagers don't like hard questions. They don't like her. There comes a place and a time now if you ask them when they're toddlers, they'll run it off. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman. And they want to be everything in the world. And that's good. That is great. There's nothing wrong with that. And you be like, oh, well, you're going to be a doctor and an astronaut, right? And you're going to be a fisherman and a fireman? Oh, and yeah. So, and we start naming it, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to be it all. Yeah. Then they get to a certain age, they get teenagers, then they don't want to talk anymore, and then they think that you're picking on them. I get all of that. I understand. But you got to begin to cultivate the conversation of getting them to understand, utilizing their skills, utilizing their passion, and leading them to a sense of accomplishment and personal growth. That's right. You got to show them what work ethic is really about. It's not just having a job, but it's something that's going to fulfill your life. Think about that. Think about that. The next one, the importance of work, is economic stability. You connect work to, yes, now here it is, when you work, you should get paid for it. The laborer is worthy of his hire. If you're going to work, you should get paid for it. Right? Muzzle not the ox that treads out the corn. Right? Even if the ox is going to tread out the corn, then he ought to get something to eat for doing his work. So if you're going to pay the ox, you ought to pay the man, you ought to pay the woman who's working for you. You ought to receive compensation and benefits. You ought to have that, right? Because when you work, it helps you, gives you the platform to build family, to stabilize yourself, to build family, to meet their basic needs of food, shelter, and health care, right? One of the things that I always ask when somebody says, oh, I got a new position, I got a new XYZ, pastor, I got a new job, bishop, I got an XYZ. Okay, I'll ask them the first thing. I say, what's the benefits? What's the benefits package? Yeah, you need to go back. But no. Don't just get excited over the cash because you ain't going to keep all of that, right? What are the benefits? How are they responsible to you for working there, right? See, because it does have an economic effect. It gives us the seed wealth to begin to create new choices and give us new opportunities, right? It gives us the opportunity to earn income. Yeah, not just to support us and our dependents, but it causes us to have a level of financial stability that we can, get the things we need and some of the things we want. Absolutely. So that's the power of developing a work ethic. Here's what else. That work ethic really helps us with social connections and belonging. Social connections and belonging. See, because work often involves, interacting with other people. Absolutely. Other colleagues, your clients and customers. Yeah, all of those people. It helps you develop socially, right? I like to work by myself. I'm always nervous with people. I just like to work by myself. Now, there are certain things that you can do by yourself. If, for example, if I'm writing a song, 9 times out of 10, I like to write it by myself. But then there are occupations that you have to develop social connections as you work. That's how it works. It causes you to say, hey, I think that's why they do group projects in school, because it's socialization as well. It's learning different perspectives. It's gaining different insights. It causes our children, and it causes even ourselves to understand that the way I see it there's not only one way to see it. Let me just say it like that. There's not just one way to see it, right? We build relationships in the workplace. Yeah, when we go to work is where we find friendships. Yeah, we find community in the workplace. Absolutely. It gives us a sense of community. Absolutely. See, I think that's very important for us as we're developing holistically as a community, as a people, that we begin to understand that our work is not just about money, but it's also about the social connections. Absolutely. Listen, not only is it for personal fulfillment, not only is it for economic stability, and not only does it develop a good work ethic, develop social connections and belonging, but it also helps, watch this, our mental well-being. Yes, it does. That when we have positive work and that work is connected to our purpose, guess what? It can have a positive impact on our emotional self. It gives us a sense of accomplishment. It gives us a sense of achievement. It gives us a sense of structure. It gives us a daily routine, a reason. Yeah. That when that clock goes off at 6, when it goes off at 7, and you got to get up and prepare, right? If it gives you a sense of, okay, I know that my day is not going to be wasted because I'm going to this place. I'm going to Mercedes. I'm going to Goodrich. I'm going to school. I'm going to, I'm going to my school. I'm going to my classroom, and I'm going to, do my best to fulfill my assignments for the day. That's right. Those things elevate your mentality. It helps you regulate your emotions. I'm going to meet some folks that's going to help me laugh, tell me stories. We're going to build camaraderie. That's right. It's going to connect you to greater levels of relationship. And that's important. And that is important. That's right. See, developing a work ethic is not just about getting up every day and going to get a check. No, there's so much in between that. There's so much more. And we've got to begin to develop that in our children. Why do I have to do that? How does that? Why do I got to do that? Right? And it's not enough to say, because I said so. Now it is a time to say, because I am developing something in you that's going to take you through life and cause you to understand the reason why you are here. Now, that's a high-level answer. I know it for a 16-year-old, but I promise you, it will definitely make the difference in how they see work and how they see their purpose and how they see their future. Absolutely. Listen, 205-752-4800, or you can hit me up on the app. Let me know what you're thinking about today's show right here on the Culture Call with yours truly, L. Spencer Smith on Praise 93.3. Go ahead, get your little breakfast, get your little pre-lunch, whatever it is, snack on some nabs, and keep it right here. Don't miss it.
World premiere.
And we are back. This is the Culture Call right here with yours truly, L. Spencer Smith, right here on Praise 93.3. It's 11 a.m., the top of the hour, and some change, and we're having an amazing day today. We are definitely having an awesome conversation about work. That's right. In connection to getting your business straight, we're talking about work and developing a work ethic for the future, understanding how we will, move and motivate ourselves toward this genius idea called work. Work is God's idea. That's right. Work is God's idea. I know that various economic systems, kind of pollute it and, try to twist it for selfish gain. And I get all of that. I understand it. And don't take nothing down from it. But the idea of work in and of itself is a divine concept. It's written all over the text. And even when the text says, if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't eat. In other words, that the Bible connects work with the ability to sustain yourself. Yeah, that's right. The ability to make sure that what you do and what you have is connected to something way beyond what you can imagine, right? There's sustainability in work. Sustainability in work. Listen, before I even do that, I just want to make you some reminders. This is the last day of August. That's right, August 31st. And so listen, we're getting ready to come into this amazing month. That's right, this amazing, fantastic month called the month of September. I wonder how many great people were born in the month of September. Yes, you're talking to one. That's right. Yours truly. That's right. September 18th is my birthday. Yes. And so we are grateful and we're excited about all the great things that are going to happen in our city in the month of September. One being on September 16th, we will have a Walk with the Warriors sponsored by the West Alabama, a chapter of the Sickle Cell Association. Definitely. We need you so much to participate in that walk from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at North Ridge High School. That's right, North Ridge High School from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're going to be walking. We need you to donate. You can go to the Sickle Cell Association of West Alabama and donate there. They have advertisements already there. And yes, we want you to be a part of it. September 16th, 9/16 is when we want you to come out. So we sorely need your funds, your donations, anything that you can do, your participation to help increase research, to help increase funding for those who need care. I've had the privilege and the honor to parent two of my children deal with sickle cell, and I've seen them press through. I have literally seen them be warriors and have successful lives. And they had a tremendous support system, tremendous medical care. But one of the things when we talk to the doctors and ask, what could we do? What do we need? That they would tell us, tell everybody, we need donations. We need, because quite frankly, because it is a minority disease, meaning that African Americans and Hispanics are normally who get it, it's not something that you can contract. It's something that you're born with. That there's a lack of funding. And so they really need to increase funding to find a cure for sickle cell. And so, yes, I am an advocate. And so you have certain levels of sickle cell disease, SC. You have SS, which is more dangerous than SC, even though SC is still, causes pain and crisis and still has challenges there. SS is worse than that. And then you have thalassemia, which is worse, So we need all of you who are listening to me, more than just your thoughts and prayers. We need you to come out on September the 16th at 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the North Ridge High School. Yeah. To do a walk with the warriors. We need you to donate. We need you to give. That's right. So that we can advance research to help cure, that's right, sickle cell disease. So mark that definitely on your calendar. And of course, September 30th, we'll have a fashion night out in Paris with that supermodel, Rodney High and High Expectations. That's right. He's going to be there at the Bryant Conference Center, and he's going to have a show. Y'all know it. It's going to be nice. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be wonderful. He does things top tier. So I want you to make sure you get your tickets. I believe tickets are $35. VIP is $50. That's right. You can find Rodney, and I'm trying to get that website so you can go ahead right online, just in case you don't see Rodney. He's around town. Make sure you call him and find out how can you purchase those tickets, because it's going to be a wonderful time. You don't want to miss that. Listen, don't forget, send your public service announcements to me at culturecall.praise@gmail.com. Again, culturecall.praise@gmail.com. And hey, even if you follow us on Facebook, the Culture Call page, that's right, you can leave your announcements there, or you can message us on the Culture Call page. And we'll do it on the radio as well. Good. So maybe you're not able to get to your email. I'm telling you, hitting us in our Facebook Messenger on the Culture Call page, not my personal page, just the Culture Call page, definitely. And we will read your announcement there, whatever it is. A good deal. Good deal. Listen, keep that all in mind as we go forward, because guess what? When we begin to support each other and begin to attract a certain attention to certain causes, then there will be a turnaround. Then more funding will come. Then we can have better things at greater venues and create an energy in our city that moves us all forward. Absolutely. Listen, in the last half, we ended up talking about some components of work ethic, developing a tremendous work ethic. And I think that is important. I think it is so important that we begin to cultivate within ourselves, within our community, and especially the next generation, what it means to have a particular strong work ethic. That's right. I think that if we don't do that, if we miss the opportunity, if we miss the call and the cause to rise to the level, to move from labor, just doing things to collect a check, spending the next 30 to 40 years of our lives just to get a golden apple or a certificate on our wall. Yeah, no, we got to move from that and begin to create a work ethic connected to our purpose. And that gives us a sense of fulfillment, that we don't mind getting up every day. We don't mind putting in the hours. We don't mind putting in the work, if I can use that. We don't mind putting in the energy to get a thing done. That begins, though, that we're creating a healthy work ethic. A healthy work ethic, yeah. And so we talked about, purpose and fulfillment. That's the first thing. That when you have a tremendous work ethic, when you start developing that, it causes you to have, a sense of purpose and fulfillment. And then we talked about economic stability, because when you work and have a positive work ethic, you can begin to gain, money and incentives and benefits to take care of your family and create a strong financial base for for those who are connected to you, for your family. And then we talked about societal connections. We talked about that when you go to work, you're creating a community. When you go to work, you're creating an entire system of friendships and relationships, right? And camaraderie. It does something for you, right? Then we talked about how those things parlay into your mental and your emotional well-being. It just feels good. It feels good, y'all, to get up and just go to work, because you have a sense of purpose. Not only the work ethic, that work ethic and your energy is connected to something that you feel is making the world better, right? And so that's where we stop. But I want to add a couple of others. Another one, why we have to develop a sense of work ethic that will go with us in the future, is for professional development. Now, I like this one. Professional development. It provides an opportunity to learn, to become more advanced in your skill sets. It advances your career. It causes you to gain promotions and be able to, start from one place and get to another, which of course increases, the capital or the cash compensation, your check and things of that nature, and benefits, right? That we're able to acquire new knowledge and, improve existing skills that we do have. It causes us to gain valuable experience. It develops us into another place. See, it's at that level then where, entrepreneurs are birthed from, because they use this particular work ethic to get a job and learn certain things that they would have never learned by themselves, right? They got the opportunity to sit up under supervisors, see how certain systems work, how to employ certain systems, etc. They say all of that, and then they say, you know what? Guess what? I can do that too. And then they begin to form a business and create jobs and create economic resources for other people and for other things. Yeah, they're able to fuel things as well. So that professional development is important. That professional development is important because it opens doors to new opportunities. Absolutely. That's right. It moves you from entry level to supervisor, from supervisor to administrator. Yeah, you never know when you develop a positive work ethic with a gaze and a vision toward the future, how that thing is going to expand and give you opportunity, way more opportunities than you ever had before. And then developing a strong work ethic also makes you, gives you a societal contribution. What is that, Bishop? A societal contribution. Well, here's what it means. It means that when you have a positive work ethic and people begin to see you, it causes you to begin to see things from a strategic vantage point. That people who work begin to look at their community in a different kind of way. They begin to look at their society. They begin to look at, begin to participate in civic and political things in a different kind of way because it connects them. They understand that I'm connected to the decision-making process of what happens in my community, in my city. I'm talking about people who work. They afford themselves to bring a level of expertise and insight to the community orientation. And so when they're talking about how we're going to develop our community, when you have a work ethic and you can begin to attend these meetings and sit on these boards that create avenues and opportunities for others to connect to their purpose. Yeah, to discover their value in mentorship, in coaching, in internship, right? And so it causes you to see how things can be better. It causes you to have a mindset of innovation. It causes you to think about the economy, the roads, the infrastructure of your community. That's right. When you have a good work ethic, it causes you to see society and your community from a different vantage point. That's exactly right. That's what it does. And listen, here's another one. That when you have a great work ethic, it promotes personal growth and learning. See, because work challenges, people to learn and to grow from a professional and a personal level. It causes you to see yourself in a different vantage point, in a different way of movement, in a different way of patterning yourself. It causes you to see something on a varying levels of skill. See, work is important. Work is important. It causes you to grow. If you are at a job, and guess what? And you're not growing, if you're at a job and you don't have a sense of fulfillment, you're in the wrong place. Right, definitely. Here's another one, and I believe it's the last one, on my list. It's when you have a tremendous work ethic, it causes the utilization of all of your talents and creativity. There is nothing like working and being placed in charge of a particular project, because those who work with you know that you're going to come with creative genius, you're going to come with innovation, you're going to come with ingenuity, you're going to come with a particular strategy to make that thing better. There is nothing like when you see someone say to you, hey, guess what? I think that, Charles might be better for this because he has a certain level of creativity that can handle that. Janice can be a part of this because she knows how to do this better than anybody. And when they put you there in those particular places, it causes you to see yourself in a different vantage point. That's right. It causes you to wake up within yourself and say, hey, guess what we're going to do? We're going to make this work. And I think one of the things that I want to drill today, one of the things that I really want to make sure and to make certain that we understand is that when we begin to move in that particular fashion and understand the purpose and the power of work, when we begin to connect that work ethic to our purpose, when we begin to see how it begins to energize and elevate the creativity that's already inside of us. See, it's a thing. One of the reasons why I loved teaching, that I chose, teaching as work, even though the systems and all that, I get all that. But one of the things that excited me was seeing the look on my children's face when they made the initial sound from an instrument. Yeah, I'm not talking about drums because anybody can get two sticks but I'm talking about something that you have to really form your lips properly in armature, and they hear that first sound come out of that clarinet, or they hear that first sound come out of that trumpet. Yeah, and I see the excitement on their faces. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. Let me do it again, Mr. Smith. And okay, try it one more time. That to me was exciting. It was connected to why I feel like I was placed in the earth in the first place. Yeah. That work ethic that caused that creativity. Some kids couldn't get it. So I had to figure out ingenious ways, that they didn't teach me in school, but just to work on that specific kid so they could learn how to blow that trombone. They could learn how to do X, Y, and Z. See, when you are working in the place of your purpose and your passion, it will cause things to be unlocked deep on the inside of you to create, innovative ways to get that thing accomplished. See, I really want to go around. I really would love to take the show around and get some high school students in here to talk about how do they see work. How are they developing a work ethic now? Do they believe that the schooling that they're getting now is creating a work ethic? Yeah. I need them to hold it as important. Culture call, listen to me. Parents, listen to me. That work has to become important to our young people. There has to be. Yes. That has to become important again because slowly but surely, and they're not saying much about it, and it's really silent. Well, actually, it's not even silent. It's there, but I don't know if we're paying attention to it, that they're phasing humanity, prime humanity, a lot of humanity out of the workforce. Absolutely. Science and technology is phasing human faculty out. And if they don't have the proper work ethic, they don't have the proper skills, they don't have the proper talent and the education and desire to work, then who's going to take care of them? Who is going to take care of them? Absolutely. And so I think it's very important. And see, some of our children are too proud to work on a garbage truck that picks up trash, as if that's not honorable. They're too proud to dig ditches to put down wiring and broadband because they're too proud. And that's because we're not developing a particular work ethic in them. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so when we understand and begin to hold work ethic into a great importance, it will cause us to have, watch this, a healthy work-life balance. Let me say it again, that when we begin to develop a healthy work ethic and we begin to understand how important that is, it will help us develop a work-life balance. What is the work-life balance? Okay, good deal. That my life wasn't just made to work, right? That you will understand the concept and the context of rest when you understand the concept of work. You have not rested until you have worked. Let me say this again. From a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, you have not rested. You have not experienced any level of rest until, that's right, I said it, you have worked. If you are lazy, then listen. If you're lazy, what you resting from? For real. People are, I'm so tired. I got to get me some rest. What did you do today? Man, I ain't did much of nothing. I just got up and I went, took a bath, and some folks don't even take no bath. They just put on clothes and just sit. Wait a minute. And then so what? You tired of being tired. That's what it is. You don't need no rest. You don't need no work, no rest because you don't have no work. And you don't have no work because you don't understand your worth. See, when you understand your worth, you will have work, and that work will parlay into rest. You will understand the purpose for a vacation. You will appreciate that trip to Disney, that trip to the beach. You will appreciate that relaxation when you have exerted your energy to make a thing happen. Culture call. We cannot be lazy in this season and any season at all. Absolutely. That's right. We've got to learn then how to strike that proper balance between work and life, work and rest. It's a balance. You cannot work 15 hours a day and don't rest. Yeah, that's labor. That's labor. Even the entrepreneur, even the person that is connected to their purpose and their worth, even those people, you got to rest, because rest is a part of the work ethic. Let me say that again, just in case you missed it. That work is a part of the work ethic, right? But work comes before rest. It's in the text. It's in the Bible. God worked 6 days, and on the seventh day, he rested. And as a matter of fact, he says, you got to keep this day, this rest day, different. That's right. You got to keep it different. See, there's so much going on in the world that you got to understand that, hey, I got to get a balance in all of this. I know when I was growing up, people around me, they just work. Because at that time, you know, nobody was teaching us about work ethic. Nobody was teaching us about work, rest, balance. Nobody was teaching us about that. So our foreparents just worked. They worked. That when they came over to this country, they worked, they labored, not worked, because they weren't even getting paid. So it's not even work if you're not getting paid for it. They labored. They picked cotton, they did tobacco, they did all these kinds of things. And that has been, you know, generationally embedded in us, that we are not a lazy people. Now, I know how some folks in the media and politicians try to spin that, but no. They say that on the back end of their disenfranchising policies. They say that on the back end of those jobs that they won't give, even though you qualify for it. So I get under that. But I'm saying there's this thing that's been painted that we are lazy and shiftless. The people who built the country, right? And see, the way that we begin to repel that definition of our people is that we've got to begin to talk about now work ethic. We've got to begin to look at how education affects the opportunities whereby we can work. We've got to begin to understand how entrepreneurship and stewardship work hand in hand to create new opportunities and new avenues. We've got to see how our hobbies and our hustles are the things that will create harvest if we put work ethic connected to it, right? We've got to begin to redefine the status quo. We've got to begin to redefine, those things that cause us to see ourselves as viable, economical parts of the community that does not involve slavery or enslavement. We've got to break those mental, historical shackles off of our minds and see the value of what we bring to the table. In other words, Culture Call, we've got to get our business straight. That's right. We've got to get our business straight. And we've got to begin to say, hey, all of this is all of the things that Bishop has been talking about this week. We got to put a work ethic on that. We got to put a work ethic on that. Now, what I'm not telling you is that now, if you can't cook, don't go out and start a restaurant. Don't be out here buying no food truck. If you can't cook, you just can't cook. That ain't your thing. You know, you buying a food truck unless you're going to be investing in it and just own it and hire people who can do that. That's a way to do that. If you want to get into that restaurant business, that food industry, yeah, that's a way to do it. But now if you can't listen, if you can't bake cakes, don't be going to open no bakery because we don't have time to waste. That's not work ethic. That's not what I'm talking about. You got to know what you are given to do and where to apply your work ethic. And whatever you set up, watch this, whatever you set up, here it is, employ young people when you open your business. Whatever project you're working on, put the young folks to work. Find those young people who want to be entrepreneurs and put them to work. That's right. Yeah. That they can have some hours at 16 they can work. Hey, help me at my restaurant. Hey, help me at my food truck. Hey, help me on my lawn care business. Hey, help me on my pest control business. All of these things, that's right, instill the ethic on the inside of them. It is imperative that you do that. Because if you don't, we're going to be we're going to enable a generation that wants, that are only consumers, but they are never producers. That they want mama and daddy and all these to take care of them, but they never want to bring anything to the table. We're going to rear up a generation, that is social media proficient, and they got all of the criticism and complaints of what's going on in the society, but they are making little to no contribution, right? They will complain about the world you create if we do not develop a healthy work ethic in the next generation. And the way to do that is bring them along. Bring them along. That's right. Start them out young, from the lemonade stand all the way up to working beside you in the restaurant. Yeah, in your janitorial care business. That's what we want you to do. Bring them along for the journey. Listen, this is the Culture Call. That's right, with yours truly, L. Spencer Smith, right here on Praise 93.3. Got a little bit more to go. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be amazing. Keep it right here.
This is a world premiere.
And we are back right here on the Culture Call with yours truly, L. Spencer Smith, right here on Praise 93.3. And we have been having an amazing morning talking about the future of work, developing a work ethic. And I think, listen, if you are really tuned in, you're understanding how passionate I am about making certain that we develop certain avenues and opportunities, especially for the next generation of work, right? Just kind of distinguishing the difference between work and labor and understanding what it happens when we develop a work ethic in the next generation, and even for ourselves as we move our community forward. Listen, I have a special guest here today with me, and it is Donnie Jones. Donnie Jones is the Executive Director of West Alabama Works and the Vice President CWO of West Alabama Chamber. They are getting ready to have something amazing in October, and that is the Worlds of Work, sponsored by West Alabama Works. It's going to be an amazing event October 5th through the 6th, 2023. I am telling you today, you need to tune in and make sure that you hear what he's saying about this amazing opportunity to develop work ethic and work advancement in our community. How are you doing today, Donnie Jones?
Bishop, I'm doing a fantastic job here. Listening to your radio station and being a part of this, I am excited. So thank you for having me here.
Man, I am so resplendently proud and pleased to have you here. Listen, we were talking a little bit before this segment, and I just want you to give a little bit of background in terms of what you do here in Tuscaloosa, and definitely what you do with West Alabama Works, and how it might be advantageous to those who are listening.
Absolutely. Well, my job is I'm the Regional Executive Director for the West Alabama area, which is about 7,500 square miles.
Wow.
That we're responsible for. And we oversee a lot of the workforce initiatives that are taking place and partner with our colleges, our community colleges, our school systems, and most importantly, our employers, which are the ones that are putting all these folks to work.
Right, exactly.
So that's what we do every single day.
Wow. Now, tell us a little bit about this amazing event, Worlds of Work. What is that all about?
It is really about helping our students understand all of the opportunities. So many times we direct our kids that it's college or bust.
Yeah.
You know, and so a lot of times they don't understand. Right in their own backyard are phenomenal jobs that they actually can get that will pay them great wages, and some do require a college degree, but most of them don't. So it really is exposing our students in our region to the jobs that we have, and that's why we call it Worlds of Work.
Right, absolutely. And the school systems, they're going toward a more of a STEM curriculum, science, technology, engineering, and math. How relevant is that in terms of Worlds of Work? Will they be able to see what they're learning in school when they come to this event?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So what it is a hands-on event. So
Wonderful.
We shut down Shelton State Community College for 2 days.
Wow.
And the college campus is not big enough, so we bring in about 100,000 square feet of tents to actually hold the event. Every type of job, robotics, hunt refining with all the chemistry. You're talking about healthcare with nursing and the science of healthcare, and every job from public service all the way down to construction. So it is an amazing event that students will be able to touch, feel, smell, taste, and experience. Because it really is not about koozies and tables.
Right.
It's about experience, and that's what our students need.
Absolutely. Experience is the key. Listen, and so, Donnie, as we're talking about this whole opportunity that's going to be provided, tell me about the upper-level students, college students. What if I'm an adult? Can I participate in Worlds of Work?
Well, not at Worlds of Work. Now, if you're an adult with a student in the 9th through 12th grade, we have a phenomenal event that's part of this. It's called Wow Varsity, which is on Wednesday night from 2 o'clock till about 6 o'clock, that you can bring your students and come and participate. What's amazing is we have a lot of parents that will come with their students and say, wow, I didn't know that there's these jobs and I want one of those. So it's a great opportunity.
That's wonderful, because I think one of the ways that we advance communities is developing a workforce that can provide an economic base to do such. And I think the work that you're doing in this, at least with this age group, developing that excitement and that wonder of being in the workforce. A lot of times we want to, as kids, they want to work, but they don't know what to do. And so exposing them to that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, on the West Alabama Chamber, let's talk about the work that's happening here in Tuscaloosa and in this area, in this region. How because I understand reading that this area, the southern region, is really becoming technologically advanced and offering more job opportunities. What participation, or what responsibility, rather, do you have in that area?
Oh, absolutely. When it comes to jobs, whether it's white collar or gray collar or blue collar, we're very involved. From a standpoint of West Alabama Works, we have over 500 jobs that are posted right now.
Wow. And
we are searching for those people, those individuals that want to obtain those jobs.
You said that there are 500 jobs. You told me that in our preamble, but 500 jobs, Coach Call, are on the table right now that are accessible right now as we speak.
Well, when we say 500 jobs, that's 500 different positions. One job posting can have over 500 positions open at some of our plants. So when you look at the opportunities that we have in West Alabama for our citizens, it is absolutely amazing. In our region and in parts of the state of Alabama, there are 3 jobs for every 1 job seeker, which means the job seeker has more opportunities now in our region than they ever have in the history of the state of Alabama.
Wow. So then the reality is being without work is a choice, because the job, I'll say it if you don't want to, being without work is a choice because the job opportunities are there.
It absolutely is. And that's one of our biggest issues in the state right now is there's so many people that are in the non-participation rate in workforce. And that is the number. People talk about the unemployment rate and how low it is. Well, that's not even anything that we're looking at. We're looking at those individuals now that are not participating in the workforce and not being counted.
Right.
Those are the folks that you're talking to and talking about to say, hey, let's get back in the game of workforce development. And really, there's opportunities now for those individuals that they can't even comprehend. And here's the really neat part of it. We can help train people who want to work.
Wow.
We'll give you the skills. And we have partnerships with all of our institutions of higher learning and our career centers. And we also have partnerships with our industries in apprenticeships and internships that can help individuals. That's the biggest thing. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to be intimidated. We will have you covered. And that's what's so cool about West Alabama Works is it's really a partnership between the job seeker and the employer and the community.
Wow. That's amazing, Donnie. And here's the next piece, because how has, we're living in a post-pandemic generation. And I don't say post-pandemic as if it's over. We'll probably be living in, and we'll continue living in a pandemically affected, season for a while. How has that affected the job, distribution, the coming back to work, the employment issue? Have you found in your research, in your numbers, your statistics, that people are afraid to go back to work because of the pandemic, the contracting of COVID or whatever? How does that affect that numbers?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer, but I'll try to be as honest and transparent as I can. A lot of times that's different communities see things in different ways, and we all know that. And that's what we need to begin to do is have real conversations.
Absolutely.
But what we have seen, West Alabama is a heavily manufacturer, healthcare, education-driven ecosystem of workforce development. And what we've seen, particularly in manufacturing, is our citizens came back to work more so than a lot of our northern cities, large cities. And a lot of that fear is not as prevalent. There are still some people that are very scared, and that's a part of the process, right? And so what we want to do is, well, I will tell you this, our industries are very aware of that. And they are very gracious. And so they're still taking precautions, but at the same time, our citizens and our companies are really back to work and they're running full speed. And we're just going to have to live through what we saw as the pandemic, but knowing now and what is happening, even the science behind it is I guess you'd say the results of getting COVID now is not what it was 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
And so safety and precautions are always an important part, and being willing to accept that of all individuals, that's an important part. But our industries are rocking and rolling, and matter of fact, it hasn't slowed down since we came back from COVID. It's actually growing. The city is growing. West Alabama is growing. Many opportunities out there. We see a lot of development, and that's kudos to the workforce. That's kudos to them coming back. And it may be different hours. Things may not be staying open as long as they used to. Pre-pandemically. But the fact of the matter is that business is still moving on, and workforce is still being engaged in developing in our community. Let's just go back to the worlds of work. This opportunity, is there some level of consistent connection that you will create with these children after they come and experience these 2 days with you? Oh, absolutely. We've been doing this for over 8 years, and what we're seeing is our career technical enrollment in our schools has actually increased up to 18%.
Wow.
And so what we're seeing is more kids are actually taking career technical education. And so what we do is we connect with the kids and we help them experience it. And then what's really cool is we're absolutely working with all of our educators in our 12 school systems, which we work with, and helping them understand this event and how to teach kids about jobs. And then we go back into all of these schools in the 9th grade with virtual reality headsets.
Wow.
Where the kids actually put them on and actually are transported into the career pathways that they have chosen. So they can actually put the headsets on and be in a hospital room.
That is amazing.
And actually change. Matter of fact, in 30 minutes, we can take a young person and teach them how to change the oil in a car, change the battery in a car, all from a virtual reality headset. It's amazing what we're doing in workforce now.
Oh, my goodness. And, I think so many people were concerned when they started taking, I guess, tech classes and tech courses out of the academic system. But what you're just saying is that virtual reality and things of that nature has kind of made up the difference, because they can come in and learn how. It doesn't take a whole semester. You can teach them how to do that in 30 minutes. My goodness, technology is amazing. Well, I tell you what, here's what I want, because you mentioned those 500 positions. Is there a way that the listeners can tap into that? That if there's a website or information you can give, how they can look up and see if there's a job of their interest?
Oh, I'll give you 3. How about that?
That'd be great.
We try to help any way we can.
Yeah.
All right. The first is our larger website, and you can go to West Alabama Jobs. Just spell that out.
Yeah.
WestAlabamaJobs.com, and that's where you can see all the jobs. If you are justice impacted, maybe you have a felony or some type of judicial issue, you can go to Building Hope Alabama or buildinghopeal.com. That's buildinghopeal.com. That is jobs that are high wage, high demand. They go up to $30 an hour.
Wow.
And that is for somebody that might have a felony.
Yeah, sure.
And then our most exciting right now is, and this is down to what you're talking about today,
Right.
our Ignite program.
Right.
And that's WAWstudentjobs.com. And that lists all of the jobs for students that are in high school.
Wow.
And the jobs that they can get.
Wait a minute, Donnie. I need you to repeat that one more time before I let you go. What was that for the students? The last one, the Ignite? What was that?
It's WAW, stands for West Alabama Works, WAWstudentjobs.com.
Wow.
We have over, I think now it's over close to 1,000 students that are on that system looking for jobs.
Wow. Culture Call. Did you all hear that? That work is available right here in West Alabama. And we are so fortunate to have Donnie Jones helping us and being a part of not just the West Alabama Chamber, but also being a part of this wonderful Worlds of Work that they're going to be presenting October 5th and 6th at the Shelton State Community College. Listen, encourage your young person, your teenager, your youth. Encourage them to be a part of it. It is going to be simply amazing to see them and to have that opportunity to see technology and the avenues where they can begin to plug up into the workforce. One more time, Donnie, can you tell us how if we needed to reach you, or if anyone wanted to contact you, where could they do that so that we can, stay in touch and make sure that we get these jobs distributed to our people?
Absolutely. You can call us at 205-758-7588, and that is at the West Alabama Workforce and Community Development Center here downtown Tuscaloosa, where the Chamber and West Alabama Works is housed.
Yeah.
So we'd love for you to reach out to us and see how we can help.
Wow. Thank you, Donnie Jones. Listen, Culture Call, that you need to get on it. Don't delay. Make sure that you are a part of the Working West Alabama. You've got to make sure that you are a part of that. We've been talking about work ethic all morning, so you should be already geared up and ready to do it. Listen, this is the Coach Call right here with L. Spencer Smith, right here on Praise 93.3. Listen, I see the runway. We're getting ready to land this plane for another day, but we want to make sure that you're at work. Listen, don't miss it. Stay right here.
This is a world premiere.
And we have come to the end of another show today. What an amazing day that we have had. Thank you to Donnie Jones from West Alabama Works, the executive director there, for bringing us all this amazing information. Listen, if you want to work, check West Alabama Works out. Make sure you do that. And make sure that your young people are part of Worlds of Work, featured right here by the West Alabama Chamber. Yeah. And it was going to be held at Shelton State from October 5th and 6th. Yes. Make sure that your teenager, your children are a part. I believe it's from 9th grade. Yeah. Make sure that they are part of that. They're going to get exposure to so many amazing things that's going to happen. I think it'd be great. Yeah. Listen, Steve Jobs, the late Steve Jobs, the founder of Macintosh, what's known now as Apple, right? Steve Jobs says your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. That's the only way to do great work. To understand that your life is not designed to be laborsome and strugglesome. But yes, you should work. I should work. We all should work. If we don't work, we should not eat. What does that mean? That we shouldn't be satisfied. The things that come with work, the harvest, being able to take care of ourselves, the personal development, the skill, the emotional elevation and advancement won't come to us. And so I wanted to take time as we've been talking about this week, getting your business straight, is to make sure that you're working in a place that you love, that you find value in getting up every morning, putting your hand to the plow and saying, you know what? I enjoy what I bring to the table. That, my friend, is good work. Listen, at the end of every phone call, my grandmother and mother always said, I love you a bushel, I love you a peck, and I love you a hug around the neck. This is the Culture Call with yours truly, L. Spencer Smith, right here on Praise 93.3. Keep it right here. It's going to be a wonderful day of amazing gospel music programming. But until tomorrow, listen, let's do something to impact the world. Make sure you treat everybody the way you want to be treated and have an amazing day. Love you guys. Peace.